Well, hello there. I'm Michael from M&M Model Railways. If this is your first time here, welcome, welcome. M&M stands for Michael and Michelle. We are a husband and wife team, and together we're building this layout that you can see behind me. If you've just seen my last unboxing video surprise that my wife Michelle did, you realize that she unboxed this DCC power pack. There's a few things that we have to do before we can run this and hook this up. I'm going to show you right after these messages. Please keep watching. So one of the things that is required to hook this up is we need to have a buzz line. So this buzz line, I've got 20 feet of 14 gauge wire here. And if you remember, I dropped a bunch of feeder wires at certain locations on the track. So this is the feeder wire, also blue and white. This is the DCC buzz, also blue and white. I'm going to be connecting those feeder wires to this with these. These are little suitcase connectors. This is what they look like. So before I get ready to install that, I'm going to weave this. You've got to twist it in order for it to work according to the NCC power cab instructions. So we're going to take the black lines off of here, and then we're going to basically turn this 3 times per foot of buzz line, so the electricity kind of wraps around itself. I don't really understand why, but that's what the directions say. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this, and I'm going to show you here in just a little bit. Keep watching. Brought you down to my level. So what I'm going to do is use my white tape, and I took the black tape off of this roll here. So I'm going to go ahead and start rolling this. On the other end of this, they already tied my black wires together. So what I'm going to do, just to keep my end that I'm going to be using from, I'm going to clamp it together with my vice grips. And then I'm going to use that to help me twist the wire. So what I want to do is I want to put several pieces of this tape. And I usually just put it on my shirt, and that way it helps me to grab it when I need it. I'll probably need more than that, so I'll just put a little bit of that right there. So I'm going to just start down here a little ways, and I'm going to start twisting this together. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then I'm going to tape this so it'll stay in the area that I'm using. And then this is kind of wrapping itself. So I'm just going to keep that process going. And then put another strand of tape around it. Oh, also today is June 9th, 2021. And I know that you're probably watching this video in September of 2021. That's when it is going to be published. And the reason is that there's just so many of these videos to do. I have to schedule them like that so they can be published. So just continue to wrap the wires around it. And as soon as I get this all done, I'll show you what I'm going to do next. I'll be right back. Well, here we are underneath the train table. We have our buzz line wrapped, ready to go. So on this side of the table, we're going to be extending and going west. So I want to start making a hole right here to run my line through there. So then I'm going to come up through here and drill a hole right here and then follow this around. So the track is a U shape, so that's what I want to make on the with this, is to follow this. Here's one of the power feed lines, and I'll be hooking all of those in. Here's another power feed line.
Having fun yet?
All day long. So that's the plan, is to get this line up in here, and use my drill bit. Eventually what I'm going to do, and I might as well go ahead and do that now, is I'm going to go ahead and drill holes so I'm coming up with the other side. So I'll go ahead and get this all installed underneath there, and then before I come and make my connections, I'll come back on camera again and let you see what it all looks like. But let me get my holes drilled, and because this is kind of noisy, I don't want you to have to listen to that. So I'll get my holes drilled and start feeding this wire through there, and we'll just see what happens when we get that far. I'll talk to you in a bit. Okay, friends, I got the holes drilled. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and start stringing my wire. I think what I like to do, start through this hole here. Just pull it through here. My next spot. All right, got it all the way through the back side, so I'm going to change the camera around so you guys will be on the other end. Hold on, I'll be right back. Well, welcome to the east end of my layout. What I want to do is my track feeders come all the way over to here. So I want to put this through this hole right here. That Sheba you're hearing in the background, she's just a very noisy cat. So up on top, my train layout comes to here. So I'm going to come through here with my layout wire, my DCC line. Let me show you another angle. Hold on. All right, you can see that extra line I have laying on the ground out there. What I need to do is I need to pull this all the way through there. So I don't get tangled up when I go the other direction. I just want to have just a little bit hanging through there. Now, as you can see, I have a whole bunch of that wire on the floor over here. So I'm going to change angles again, and we're going to come around the other direction. Keep watching. Well, here we are again. Now we're heading your direction, which is west again on my layout. Keep on feeding the wires. Got a lot of wires in this area. And you can see, I don't know if you can see all that wire there. But now I got to bring that up around this area too. I might have too much. I might have to cut some of this off, which is okay. If I have to, I have to. Look right there. I'm going to drape this through right there. That's coming out the other end. It'll come up through here and run it through the hole I put in here. Okay, my friends, I have the buzz line ran where I want it to go. I can get up underneath there and put my suitcase clamps in there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this extra wire you're seeing here because I have more than enough around my table. But I'm going to use some kind of a crimp thing up in there to connect these through when I go and I connect to the other side. So I'll go ahead and get my wire cutters and we'll go ahead and get that cut. All right, on to the next step here, and that's to make the connections with my feeder lines to my buzz line. So I'm going to use these clamps. I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to put the first one up in the blue. And I'm going to go ahead and hook up my feeder wire. I want to go ahead and cut your feeder wire so you don't need all that extra length there. You want to separate your two lines. Utility knife usually works best on that. Start a little bit of a cut. Then you need to take that blue line and make sure that you're hooked to your other blue line. And this one goes in this way. And I'm going to take my channel locks, crimp that thing together. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull on it, make sure it's in there tight. All right, my friends, that's how we're going to do all of them. All right, let's go ahead and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these feeder wires to install. So let's go ahead and get them installed, and then we'll come back and we'll figure out where we're going to hook up our line feed for our buzz line. So I'll be back in a little bit. Well, my friends, came a long ways in this video. I have the buzz line hooked up. I have the feeders hooked up. So the next thing that I need to do is I need to get this inside the layout. So I'm going to put this right here. This is where the power pack plugs in at, that big old handle thing. This is for an auxiliary one right here. So I'll explain all this when I get ready to do it, but I took my tape measure and I measured the distance that I need on it. So I need at least 2.5 inches wide, and I can get in there with about 1 inch. So I'm going to put this right here. I have my lights, my plug and play right here. I have my power supply to plug in my train power feed, and this will control this and any other thing I plug in there, like my Kato power pack to run my switches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my drill and I'm going to drill some holes. As you can tell, let's see if we can find pencil lines right here. So I'm going to go ahead and drill some holes in there, and then we're going to use the jigsaw and we're going to cut this out. And I'll be right back, because I don't want you to listen to this. Be right back, Quip, in here in just a second. Well, there's my 4 holes that I have drilled. Also working through 2 3/4 inch pieces, so that means I'm cutting through 1.5 inches. So I've got my my power supply right down underneath my layout right here. So it helps to have that to plug in. So pardon my forehead, or the top of my head there. So I'm going to go ahead and get my jigsaw plugged in, and we're going to go ahead and get this cut out and see if that piece fits in there. I'll be back in a second. Well, we got her cut out. See what I mean about 1.5 inches. Now here's the big reveal. Will that go in there? And yes, it will, and it'll even cover up what was done there. So what am I going to do now is I'm going to clean up my sawdust here, get this out of the way, because I like to have a clean work area. And so, as you can see, that's fitting in there pretty good. So there's a couple of things we got to do before we screw that in there. And so I'll be back in a second. Well, here we are again, and I'm going to be getting everything hooked up into here that I need to do. So I want to make sure, yeah, that's pretty tight back in there. So this hole right here goes to the power feeder. So I've already made a little connection, and I put my wires in there, as you can see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and make a connection into my buzz line underneath with this line here. So I always cut this a little bit so I can pull it apart. But I want to feed this through another line underneath there. So what I'm going to do is connect this in here so it snaps in there. Yeah, I heard that snap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this wire through here like so. Just loosely leave that in there. Now we got to go back down underneath the layout. Here we are again. Now we're going to find part of this layout, and I think I'm going to try to go in right here. So there's not a lot of room underneath this mess. So I'm gonna go back in at this hole that I made right here, feed that wire through there. And I don't have enough, so I'm going to make another connection and just leave the wire long so I can get that connected there. I'll be right back. All right, I got my line hooked up to my buzz line. So now I'm going to just go through how I did this. It tells me to expose about 1/4 of an inch of the line here. Back in a second. Sometimes getting that to strip off of there as small as that is kind of hard, so I use my teeth on it. Now it tells me to twist these to the right and make them tight. So now what I'm going to do is put this little clip back on there. I was trying to see if it give me a negative and a positive. I'm really not seeing that, so not sure if it really matters. Let's try my pliers. Put the other side in there. I give them a little tug. Make sure that they're in there really good. It looks like the white one's not really in there. Maybe that'll help. A little tug. No, it's still not in there. The blue one is. Let me work with this. I'll be back in a second. Okay, I got it secure this time. The next thing I want to do, just because I don't want to have to get up underneath my table, I'm going to go ahead and plug the power strip in through the back. I'm not going to plug it in just yet. I'm going to run this through the back of my layout fascia. Put that up on the top there. I'm going to run this out through this hole as well. All right, now I got my power feed coming through there, plus my line feed. So the power feed goes in through here. So let's hook up the power feed. Let's hook up the line feed. Make sure that those are tight. I'm going to run this back through here. Now these other two holes are to expand your layout. So let me go get my owner's manual so I can show you what I'm talking about. I think the best way
to show you is to show you the back. Pardon me. So this is basically what we did here. I got the back hooked in. So this is for to more UTPSs as needed. So this comes in to another line, and this will go to more UTPS. So this other hole here is for the engineer throttle. I'll be ordering one of those, and we'll have one of those as well. That's our main unit. That's what we got. So that's how that works. But what I want to do is I want to have this other one right here. And I'm also going to be ordering the cradle that sets in. I actually got 2 of them on order. So let's go ahead and get this thing in here and get it leveled. Level right here. Now I'm going to use some 1/2-inch screws, but I'm going to pilot a couple of holes here. Pilot one right there, and I'm going to pilot one right there. That way I can put my screws through there. So I got number 6 by 1/2-inch screws. So I'm going to go ahead and get one of them in there. Put this other one in here too. And I'll go get my power screwdriver so I can drive them in there. So I'll be back in just a second. All right, my friends, what it tells me to do next is to plug this in. Pardon my head again. I'm going to pause the video, then I'll be back as soon as I get that plugged in. Yeah, I got her plugged in. And I don't have my thing plugged into it yet. So what I'm going to do is take these wires and wrap them up underneath here and put a wire tie on it. Give the arm there. All right. Now what it tells me to do is to plug my controller in. We're going to see if we got power to our layout. Okay, we got power there now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up and put a locomotive on here and see what happens. And as you can tell, we have that light on. And if I turn my power off, the light goes off. And so does the controller. That's what it said for me to do. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and put my shelf back on here. It's just loosely on here. I don't want to put any screws in it yet because I'm going to be changing it. My Kato power pack has to be plugged in there for my switches. So I'm going to kind of clean up here, and then we'll be checking back in the next video to see a DCC locomotive running on this. I'm pretty excited about this. It's going to be a victory, and I'm just using my spit to clean off my things there. So anyway, thank you for watching this video on getting the DCC controller ready. I really enjoyed doing this, and check back in the next video as we get a DCC locomotive on the track and see if it'll run. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.